what's your number one tip for new advertisers on Amazon?
First thing sellers should do is ensure that their understanding of what they're selling and Amazon's understanding of what they're selling is the same. Is run an automatic campaign for a week or a week and a half, and then export that search terms report, examine the top 5 search terms that appear by impression, and if those aren't tangentially related to your listing somehow or closely related, then you have to shift your priorities immediately and start rejiggering things to make sure they understand what you're doing. I often see people who are not specific enough with the names. So it's like you export a campaign and you pull it into Excel. All of the ad group names are the same, and you're unable to distinguish between what ad group these things are in. For each ad group, I also include dates too. So when the ad group started, and it allows you to get some context on like how long you've been running it and how old the data is. I'd say number 3 is don't be scared to use negative keywords.
So Amazon has broad, phrase, and exact match keywords. Can you tell us a little bit about how those work and how sellers can leverage those options?
The 3 supported keyword types in Amazon at the moment are broad, phrase, and exact. Think of broad as like your big wide funnel, right? There's a bunch of related terms that are being caught in that net. Some of them are relevant, some of them might not be relevant. And ideally, you should usually set broad at like a lower bid. Phrase is kind of like the next one down, further down that imaginary funnel. Exact should be for things that you know are converting. It's like broad is less relevant, exact is most relevant. Search on like top terms that you think are important to your product and terms that you're bidding on, and see how your ads appear. If they search for a term and your right rail ad is just like your brand name and they never heard of your brand name, then like that's not really relevant to them. They want to see something related to the term they search for, if you can. I think the 5th biggest thing is testing and patience. One click is not going to tell you anything. There's no statistical validity there. You want to make sure you've accumulated enough data to make an informed decision. And don't forget that sales can take 48 hours or longer to actually appear in your campaigns.
Thank you so much for joining me and for telling us more about the ad platform on Amazon and how sellers can get started.